This episode of London Real is sponsored by X-Brain. If you live in Europe or the UK, get all of your favorite Onnit products like Alpha Brain, Shroom Tech Sport, even the Bulletproof Coffee from X-Brain. You get it in a matter of days, no foreign exchange, no customs, no problem. Go to xbrain.co.uk and check it out.
You did this Robbie Williams, Radio 4 show where he was going into the UFOs, and I just wondered how you got hooked up with him and how you enjoyed that process.
Yeah, it was really great actually. That I just want to check the time, and we're fine.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. I got a call out of the blue in about 2005 actually from Robbie Williams. Well, actually from Catelyn Moran, the writer, who said, "Stand by your phone. Robbie Williams is going to phone you." And then I thought to myself, well, I find that too stressful. So what I'm going to do is turn my phone off. And then if he wants to leave a message, that's fine. So I did, I turned my phone off and went out for dinner. I came back and there was this really long message from Robbie Williams.
That's good advice for any anxiety management. Just turn off the phone.
Yeah, exactly. And him saying that he wanted to spend a night in a haunted house. And could I set one up for him? And he was a fan of... This is because in my first book, Them, he was a big fan of. And I knew that already because in the Chris Heath biography of Robbie Williams, he goes off to his hotel room and reads Them. So I knew he liked the book.
I can kind of see that your agenda is not cynical, but it appeals to cynics. You know?
Yeah.
If I was Robbie Williams, I'd be thinking, I might come off looking bad here.
Well, actually, Robbie's sort of perfect because he's got a foot in both camps. Like, he's got a foot in the believer camp and also a foot in the skeptic camp. And I think that's why he liked me, actually, was because he felt that I wasn't a kind of hardcore James Randi skeptic. I mean, I sort of am. I mean, I'm much more skeptic than a believer. But I don't attack believers. I sort of, it's like a shared... empathy of the kind of craziness of the world. So anyway, so he wanted to spend a night in a haunted house, and I said I'd set one up. So I started like frantically calling up all these ladies of the manor, emailing them like, "Dear Lady blah blah." I read that if the portrait in your drawing room is moved, a ghost apparently manifests itself. I've recently been contacted by the pop star Robbie Williams. So I think, can he and I spend a night in your house? And I thought I wouldn't hear back from anyone, but 100% of the people who I contacted emailed back straight away to say, yes, Robbie can come whenever he likes. I said, I wrote about it and said like they were throwing their ghosts at Robbie as if they were their debutante daughters. Anyway, then Robbie changed his mind and said he didn't want to spend a night in a haunted house after all. So I kind of got a bit grumpy and thought, no wonder Robbie Williams and ghosts get on so well. They only ever manifest themselves when it suits them. But then we kept talking.
Very good.
And I liked him a lot and went to stay with him in LA and spent a week sort of in Beverly Hills staying with him and liked him hugely. And then eventually he said he was going to go and meet alien abductees in Nevada, and did I want to come? And I said,
for a guy who's maybe a little bit sensitive about being perceived as losing his mind a little bit, he's picking funny subject matter to get involved in.
True. It was definitely... I mean, I came up with my sort of cod psychological theories as to why. And it was basically, I felt, in this world, there's nobody more amazing than... being Robbie Williams or Madonna or Lady Gaga, player. And he is that person, and he found it wanting, so he was looking for something even better, and what's better than that? And also, I think he was really frazzled. He'd just come off this tour where he was playing, it was one of the biggest stadium tours of all time. And one thing I began to realise very quickly about Robbie Williams is that he really didn't like standing on stage in front of 50,000 people. He did it because he knew he was good at it, and that's kind of what he had to do. But he didn't take pleasure from it. He found it really difficult. And I think he saw me, actually, and the whole UFO thing as like a holiday from his real life, and some people said that it was a sign that he was going crazy, but actually I always thought it was the opposite. I thought the stadium tour was the thing that had turned him crazy, and all of this was the thing that was making him better again. And I still
good
think
observation.
That. Yeah.
And so he threw himself into this. You came along and kind of documented it.
Yeah, and it was a lovely thing, you know. We had a private plane. He had a private plane. The funniest moment, my favourite moment of the day actually, was when we turned up at the private plane, and the woman was standing there, and she says, you know, Mr. Williams, friends, you know, welcome to your plane. This is your plane for the day. I want to tell you something. She said, I want to tell you, Snoop Dogg uses this plane a lot. What I'm saying is, you can do anything. And there's this kind of silence. So we all looked, because we're all like in our 40s now. None of us could kind of think what anything could possibly entail. So so Robbie's friend Brandon said, are we allowed to stand up as the plane lands? So that's what we did. That was our version of it. Of like Babylonian hedonism. It was like, whoa.
I like it that Snoop Dogg's held up as the standard for.
I'm trying to.
Well, you can't imagine anything so bad that Snoop Dogg hasn't done it on a plane.
I know. It's
I'm trying to imagine what it was. What
they did.
an amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't want to make any suggestions, or I'm going to tick boxes on the Psychopath Test list.
Wow. So you did that with Robbie. That must have been a nice kind of break and aside. Do you get requests like that from celebrities to kind of jump on this project or that, or did you get more after Robbie's?
No. I mean, and rarely. That was definitely a sort of one in a million. Nothing like that's ever happened since I can think of.
But if you're a celebrity listening and you want to do something crazy, they should contact you.
Feel free. And in fact, Robbie will vouch that he was very happy with the results.
Okay, it's a good reco.